Hello, David Paul here. I want to make a video about, an idea I have, which I want to apply in Portugal and do a bit of research on. My dream in Portugal is to have a place where I can have a workshop and work on things and have some space to do jobs and say if I want to build a boat or whatever the hell I want to do, woodwork. And this house is providing me with a lot of space, so that's good. But I need a lot more, and I've got my eye on another property, the Beehive Place, which would be ideal for workshops. Portugal has a couple of problems. The Portuguese have a couple of problems, and one of them is their houses are not very well insulated. In fact, they're not even insulated at all. A lot of them. I know somebody's going to come back and say, I've got the super insulated house of Portugal, but most of them are like stone buildings, large thermal mass, which is good if you want that. But I'm told, though I've never spent a winter in Portugal, I'm told that they're really cold. So we're going to stop that. And the other problem Portugal has is low incomes. So people are feeling the squeeze more probably here. Although I would say in my own country, England, people are having a really tough time. So one of the key things that is going on in the world at the moment is rising energy costs. So two things you can do about that. You can reduce the cost of energy, or you can eliminate the need for the energy so the bill is lower. Okay, so I'm cooking on bottled gas at the minute, and I think I'm burning about €23 a month, which is really not much. Get a family over here, maybe it could double, but still not too bad, because that's just for cooking. But if I was trying and heat this house on something that you buy, that's going to turn out rather expensive. So how do I get around this? Well, I have some ideas, and one of the ideas was I was going to burn wood, and I was going to cook on wood, and I was going to use the just get transfer hand there because it's very heavy to hold the phone. I was going to use wood to cook on and heat the house with. And there can be situations in Portugal where you'll have an abundance of wood, but you can also find yourself in an area, or if you don't have your own land to grow the stuff, in a situation where you don't have so much wood. Well, you can buy these wood chip heaters and all this stuff, but this is going to cost you money. And all the Portuguese, a solution has to be valid for all the Portuguese, and I include the residents like myself who become part of the Portuguese system. So my suggestion is that we need to insulate the houses. And I puzzled over this issue for a while, and one of the problems with insulating a stone building is that if you insulate it on the interior, and I've got this beautiful stonework behind me here, well, first of all, if I insulate on that, I lose the appearance of the stonework, which is nice. Not nice, I mean, it's nice to keep the stonework. The stonework is nice. So you insulate it. Say you did insulate it, then what will happen is you'll get damp. You'll get damp in the wall because water migrates through, hits the cold wall, condenses and produces damp. So ideally what you want to do is you want to insulate the exterior of the house. Okay. Well, one thing the Portuguese do is they plaster their houses with lime plaster or whatever, and that puts a layer on top of the wall which already exists. And that is just there to seal it against weather, or maybe they like the appearance or what, I don't know. I don't like it. I want to chip it off and I want to have the bare stone. But there is one part of my house, which the front part of the house, which I'm slowly chiseling off, where I'm quite happy to have the stonework there. But the other parts of the house, the back wall and the two side walls, I'm quite happy to plaster them. So what I'm doing at the minute is I'm chipping off the old redundant, very poor quality lime plaster to replace it, but I'm not going to replace it with the same lime cement. I should call it cement, really. It's a cement mixer. So I'm going to replace it with that. Well, a long while ago, I was looking into insulating materials, and in particular, how to make your own insulating materials. I was interested in carbon foams. Carbon foams, they're completely inert. They can't react with anything. Termites, critters, fungi, bacteria, nothing will digest them or destroy them. So I looked into I have some ideas in it, and I might actually do some research if I can at Queenborough University on this subject. But I've got some ideas for making better carbon foams. But one of the things I came upon was a research paper by the Chinese. And what the Chinese had done, they had used bread. So they baked bread and they carbonized it. Now, I thought I'll give this a try, and I was astonished at the result. I had a really good result and the way to do this is you've got to dry the bread first. So it's not it. I think if you do it with wet bread, it'll break up. There'll be like different. There's moisture evaporating, breaking it up, and there's also differential temperatures in it, and so on. So lo and behold, I take a piece of a Portuguese bun and heat it in an oxygen-free environment, and you get this. How about that? This is a carbon foam. In the centre, there's a little bit which hasn't been carbonized. If I wanted to carry on the carbonization process, I could complete it, but it's 90% carbonized. So there it is. It's extremely lightweight, and you could push this process to make much lighter foam. But what impresses me, it's got a really high compressive strength. So the plan is that I will use this foam and cast it into sheets and carbonize it in sheets. So I should be able to produce something really smooth, like rather like a polystyrene foam sheet, which you can saw to shape, trim, sand, whatever. And then what you do is you glue it using cement, possibly, or some other adhesive, to the exterior of your house. So you line them all up. So you tile, rather like the space shuttle, you tile your house in this carbon foam. Right, you've done that. So now what have you got? You've got a horrible, tiled, ugly-looking, black house. Then what you do is you whitewash the thing, cover it in either a lime wash or some kind of paint, exterior paint, and then you're done. Then when you look at it, it simply appears that all you've done is replastered your house, and you won't be aware of the fact that it's not lime plaster, it's lime cement, it's this stuff. So I have some ideas about how to improve this process and make something very strong, this is very strong actually, but make something strong but even lighter and more filled with air. So if I can pull this off and if I can get a really good U value, I've solved the Portuguese problem. We could start putting this on the outside of houses. And where could I go with this? Well, the wall, which is not plastered, is south facing, so it gets warm all day. So what I could do is use that as a source of solar heat. And up the top there, where the windows are, if you can see them, I can use them as sources of solar heat. So allow the sun to shine into the house, and maybe even put skylights in to bring in more solar heat. So I could actually potentially solar heat the house. But we will see. We will see. But at the minute, I'm going to sort of default down to expecting that I'm going to have to heat the house. But we'll see as I start slowly to insulate the place. We'll see if I can get this to do the job. A problem I'm having here is I'm trying to buy eucalyptus wood, and I wanted to buy long logs. I wanted to buy 8-meter long logs. Then I wanted to buy trunks of trees, truncus as they call them in Portugal, tree trunks, and they can be as thick as my arm. They don't have to be thick trees, you know. So I tried to buy them. Nobody knows where I can buy any. I've tried to buy off foresters, all kinds of people. No, not possible. So if anybody knows where I can buy eucalyptus logs, that would be great, because the job is pretty much frozen now. I cannot do this floor up here. I can't do the floor. And if I can't do the floor, then I can't get up there and start decorating out and fixing up, ready to be able to live in that. So I just have to carry on living like a pig here, which is not really what I want to do. So anyway, troncos de eucalipto. Have you got any eucalyptus logs? And I've figured this problem out in all different ways, and can I hell solve it? And out there somewhere, there's somebody's got a farm and they got a few eucalyptus trees on, and I could just buy them. I basically only need logs about 2 meter long, which is the standard cut. They're normally about 2.2 meters that they cut them to, put them on wagons and cart them off to the paper mill. And if I could just buy a few of these, that would be great. When I say a few, a couple of hundred of these logs, maybe 100 of these logs or something, not quite sure. Can't work it out on camera at the minute, but if I could get those logs, that would speed the job up beyond belief. It's not going to take a lot to fix this house up, despite what anybody says. The reason being is the look that I'm looking for is a rustic look. Well, it already exists. It's already here, you know. So I just got to tidy it up, basically, and you know, improve the integrity of the house. I'm very good at plastering these top walls up here. I've done so much plastering in my life. I'll have these plastered in no time. And I'll have the whole top looking good in no time. But I can't do it without the materials, and I can't do it without the damned logs. So if anybody has any eucalyptus logs they want to sell, please give me a shout. So, Atilago, see you later. Jesus be with you.